You asked how I found out about the center, and for the life of me, I can't remember how. It must have been a friend of mine said they just opened this new space, but it was early on. It was probably 75, so maybe it had been there a year or so. My first recollection is of a meeting of what was to become the workshop committee. And they had a few classes, but they didn't, it sort of petered out after a few sessions. So a bunch of us got together and decided we can do this, we can revive this. And that's what we did, and built a pretty strong program that went on at least until 83, from 76 to 83, and maybe beyond that, I'm not sure about the end of it. So, and then I got involved with the membership so that the newsletters would be sent out when new members joined, organizing that and getting some extra help and so forth. And then I was on the board for a couple of years. And well, anyway, as a result of that, I got to know a lot of people. Some of my best friends still are from there, but also a lot of others that I knew sort of vaguely, or whatever. And I thought later how important it was that I felt a connection with people that I didn't really know all that well. I mean, beyond the ones I did know well, those, and it was just a wonderful opportunity because there were so many kinds of art going on as the thing grew from not too much to a lot. And so it had a real presence in the city, and people with their sculpture, printmaking, you name it, planning exhibitions. So it went out like pebbles thrown with waves all throughout the city, and had an impact, I think, in a lot of different ways that way.
The classes varied in size, but for the most part, other than some of the things that were off-site, like Charlotte Robinson's presentation of art course. So here's one of the earliest brochures we put together, a fold-out thing, and had a big mailing. We had to develop a mailing list, of course. We had a DC Artist Studio tour on teaching art to children, textile design. There was even music by Dorothy Yannick, and she taught the Yale class. I can't remember the name of that famous
Albers.
Albers, yes. She had taken the Albers color course at Yale and taught that at the Washington Women's Arts Center. So there was some quality stuff here. And Bunny Christie's piece art, of course. Well, anyway, this is 76, and this is from 1983. Winter offerings, and it looks as though there are at least 30 classes here, probably more. Artists in the Law, abstract painting, improvisation in dance. So we went a little further afield than just two-dimensional art. So that was when we were down at the Landsberg, and then it moved, I think, shortly after that to Cone Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure just how it ended and how all that happened, because by that point I wasn't involved. But anyway, so this is 7 years of building up this program. But for the first program, believe it or not, we were determined we were going to have some advertising, and Anastasia, one of our great center printmakers, designed this poster. So this is hand silk screened poster that we put up around town, and that I think probably added to. We did this down in her basement and hung them up around town. So that's sort of how it began. Well, this initial meeting we had, where the program might have ended right there, unless we took the bull by the horns, and we were kind of going by the seat of our pants, but because there's so many aspects of it in terms of finding teachers, and we had to have contracts for it, and payment of the teachers, and advertising, and printing, and all these different aspects. And so we were kind of shooting from the hip, so to speak. And of course, after we had several sessions, then it got easier. But there were people on that committee who were really enthused. And if they hadn't been enthused that night, I think the thing would have died probably. But as far as classes, there were several of us on the committee that taught, and that's probably why they came to these initial planning meetings that we had. But then people would come up to us, and the variety, it increased from like about maybe 10 in the first brochure, maybe not even 10, 8 or 10, to maybe 25 over the course of years. In other words, because it was successful in its small stage, it grew. And it also provided a good bit of money, I think, for the center at a time when it didn't have much money other than the membership dues. So it was important that way. And we also eventually ended up having a student show in the summer, and the students helped with that, hanging it and food and advertising and whatever. So basically it was a great success, I would say, and the fact that it went on so long.